Tank Davis takes out Ryan Garcia in round 7. He folds him in half like a deck chair with a left hook to the floating rib, it seemed. This fight went pretty much exactly as I expected it would. For those who didn't see, I predicted that this fight would end with a Tank stoppage in round 6 or 7. So we're on the money with this one. It was round 7. So correct winner, correct method of victory, correct round. And I feel like the fight actually unfolded as I said it would. You know, just to toot my own horn. This fight, from a stylistic perspective, I thought it would be Tank moving around the periphery of the ring, looking to take his time, probably not rushing in with anything, just looking to really time Ryan Garcia, an aggressive Ryan Garcia who's probably forcing Tank onto the back foot, forcing him to move around, and eventually walking him onto something. That is essentially what happened. Tank, despite his diminutive stature, he commands fights quite well at long range, at distance, even against fighters like Ryan Garcia who have a considerable height and probably reach advantage over him. You can see this, a lot of it comes from obviously the mobility, because Tank does really move very well. Very low center of gravity, very naturally athletic. He's got pretty good technique as well, so he's able to move around that ring with ease. And I feel like Tank is one of those fighters who's a prime example of how to use a size disadvantage, a lack of size, and turn it into an advantage when you use it the right way. And that's exactly what he did. But also there's a skill, there's a certain sharpness. Tank has got really good eyes. He knows how to find his shots quite well when he's firing on all cylinders, which I feel he was. This was a really good performance from Tank. Even though my prediction was correct, it was obviously watching it unfold. It was very impressive. And the fight, the opening round was actually quite quiet. I thought both guys would be anxious, but they both seemed to settle into the fight fairly well based on what I saw. There was no real action in that first round though. However, Ryan Garcia found himself on the canvas, on the seat of his pants in round 2, when he was floored by a beautiful counterpunch from Tank. It was an overhand left as Tank rolled under the left hook of Ryan Garcia and simultaneously let that punch go, just caught him flush on the chin, and down Ryan Garcia went. And that was actually, in the pre-fight, I spoke about the lead hand of Tank Davis, which is what he likes to use. It's very common in a Southpaw Orthodox matchup to see the meeting of the lead hands, and Tank understands how to use that. A lot of his offense comes off of that, and it was a pretty nice sequence where Tank was retreating from the center of the ring towards the ropes, and Ryan Garcia is looking to continue advancing towards him, and he kept challenging that extended lead right of Tank with a left hook, just coming around the side. He tried it once, didn't work. He tried it twice, still didn't work. He tried it a third time. Tank, using that information, using that data that he's received from extending that lead hand, understanding how Ryan is going to react to it, then lines up that beautiful punch, and then down Ryan went. Credit to Ryan Garcia, he got up. Actually got up and didn't look too bad. It was a fairly heavy knockdown. It was a punch that landed flush and a full-blooded power punch. But Ryan Garcia showed a good set of whiskers, showed heart, and he got up and he fought on for another few rounds. I want to say after that second round, the fight kind of fell into a pattern. More of Gervonta Davis moving around the outside, looking to get a bit more adventurous with his offense. He was starting to leap in with a few more shots, particularly to the body, until it got to the 7th round, where I feel like, I don't want to say he had broken Ryan Garcia down sufficiently, but I feel like he just had an idea of how Ryan was going to react in certain situations at certain ranges, and he understood what kind of offense he could get off. And the punch that stopped it was actually, it didn't seem to be the hardest punch when you watched it in real time. They were both kind of in a clinch. Ryan Garcia looked like he attempted to throw a left hook, missed, then followed up with a right hand, or was beginning to follow up with a right hand, but Tank had already let go a left hook, and as I say, it looked like he caught him in a floating rib, and yeah, just folded him in half, and he basically sat out the count. Um, Kind of curious, when you see fighters and they take a body shot and they can't stand up and they're huffing and puffing and they're like, I'm just paralyzed. But then as soon as the ref counts to 10 and the fight's waved off, they stand up and walk to their corner. Always a little bit strange, but I think Ryan he'd reached his limit basically, because some of you may disagree, but I didn't give Ryan a round. I didn't keep a scorecard, but just my overall impression was that this was a Tank fight, and it was um, quite a comfortable fight, I want to say, for Tank. Yeah, he was getting pushed back slightly, but I think more of it was him just kind of voluntarily retreating, because he fights quite well when you come towards him. And Ryan Garcia, he tried, yeah, but I think he's just a bit too green technically. There was always this talk of, yeah, Ryan Garcia has the power and the speed and the sharpness, but how's he going to apply that? And so I think, yeah, this was a, dare I say, easy win for Tank. That's just my opinion. Some of you guys may disagree, but I've watched it, no commentary, watched it on mute, been able to rewind it, and yeah, this was a quite a routine fight for Tank, I want to say. So, and I'm not going to take away any credit. He did what he had to do. This was a high stakes fight. There was a lot of pressure because both guys could hurt each other, could potentially stop each other. Bragging rights, a lot on the line in terms of pride and whatnot. And Tank comes out the victor. He goes onwards and upwards. Trying to think if there are any other technical aspects to this one. As I say, I feel like it really did just unfold as I predicted it would. Yeah, Tank, good movement, lead hand control, obviously set up a lot of offense for him. Some good defensive responsibility as well, something that Ryan Garcia doesn't really have. So Ryan Garcia can come back. This is, yeah, it's a loss and might be a hard loss to take, but there's potential that this is a great learning experience for him, depending on how he views it and what he takes from it. And it's going to be interesting to see where Tank goes, because there's still Shakur Stevenson. There's the winner of Haney versus Lomachenko. If he wants to explore some higher weight classes, there's Josh Taylor or Teofimo Lopez. So there are a few options for Tank. The only thing is, I think that all of those fighters that I've just listed, they're probably going to be a sterner test than Ryan Garcia, because Ryan Garcia's got power, he's got speed, but I think he's probably the greenest, and dare I say, maybe isn't the mentally strongest compared to those other guys. So all those other guys, I feel like they present some interesting challenges for Tank Davis, but this version of Tank, I think, is a very dangerous and formidable fighter. I don't know if he beats those guys that I've named, but hey, make the fights and we'll find out. But yeah, those are my initial thoughts on this fight. Went as I thought it would. Credit to both men, and obviously credit to Tank for getting the victory and in good fashion as well. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Maybe I'll address this one if any new thoughts come up, but I think this video is somewhat comprehensive, at least for an immediate reaction. So yeah, leave your thoughts down below, people. I'll get back to you. But for now, thanks for listening, and I'll catch you in the next video.